Okay, now we'll move on to making a AutoHotkey script. Obviously you'll need to install AutoHotkey. If you haven't already, I'll leave the link in the description. And then we'll need to start making a script. Now, AutoHotkey, I should mention, has a very extensive help section. Read the tutorial. This is very important to read through these, especially these. And if you have any knowledge of JSON or any programming language really, it shouldn't be too hard to get into. Otherwise, it is quite an easy language to learn, and it won't take too long at all. Yeah, reading through the basics and creating these is a good little introduction. Sets you on your way. Very good. And also, this is quite an important part for setting hotkeys. Yeah, keep these in mind. These will reference anything that you want a hotkey. Right. So now let's create a new AutoHotkey script, and I'm going to name this one testing because I'm just testing it out. Right. So now we've got testing, and we're going to edit script, not compile. So I'll tell you that later actually. Testing. Here we are. Right. Leave this all here. It's all just set up for the script. First thing we're going to want to do is we are going to want to make sure that we can reference, request through the internet. So we're going to type in win HTTP. I'm just declaring this. So win HTTP, this can be called anything you want. You can call this net request, whatever you want. It's just a placeholder name. It's same as any other programming language. You'll reference it later, and I'll show you that in a second. So this, however, cannot be changed. This is declaring what that variable is. It's a com object create, and then we go bracket win HTTP dot win HTTP request 0.5.1. And what this does is every time we call it or reference it, it will access the internet for us, which is what we want. Now that we've got this, we can access the internet through this win HTTP variable. So let's make our first hotkey. And this hotkey, if you using a semicolon, we can write what the hotkey does, and we're going to call this one. We'll call this one toggle on / off. Very simple first hotkey. Now we have to decide which hotkey we want to assign this to. So I'm going to get this out again. I'm going to go down here, and I think today I want to do control numpad 5. So I'm going to go caret, whatever they call that symbol, which represents control, and then I'm going to write numpad 5, and then 2 of these. This represents the end of the hotkey. Right, numpad 5. We're going to make this turn the lights on or off. So we first need to know whether the lights are on or off. So to do that, we're just going to put a placeholder variable called lights on, and I'm going to set it to 1 because I'm assuming that the lights are already on. Let's write a little hotkey in here. So we're going to reference that win HTTP, HTTP dot open, because we are opening the web page, and we're going to do put, rather full uppercase, let's get rid of this, like this. Going to do put, and then in here we're going to type out HTTP colon / and then your IP address of your the IP address of your router, which will be this 0.1.4, I mean not the router, the Hue bridge rather, slash API like we see here. And in fact, let's do it like this. If I go into here, put groups, because I'm accessing all groups, and group 0 is all the lights in your home that are connected to this particular bridge. So if we go here now and we change just remove these for now. This will, if we click put now, this will change all the lights. Success. This will change all the lights in this group to on. So we take this address and we put it right there into this script. Now we have access to this web page, and we want it to put. So we put there, and we also have to put a 0 in there as well. I can't remember what the 0 does, but it's not important, so don't worry about it. Well, it is important, it just needs to be there, but it doesn't matter about what it does. Right, now, so if the lights on 0 body text, so if the lights on is greater than 0, so if it's 1, we're going to do this. We're going to change body text equals, oops, my bad, on false. So we're trying to turn them off because the lights are on. We want them to be off, so we change body text to false, right? Else, oops, else, the body text will equal on true. So we have declared a new variable called body text, and the body text is equal to this. So this is a string, and it will put this, it will send this string into the message body box, I suppose, over here. We can change this to anything we like as long as it's consistent throughout our code. Body text is set to on true there. So now we have to send this command to our Hue bridge. So we type in the win http dot. Now we're sending it, so we send, and then in brackets body text. Oh, hello, someone's honking at me. Body text. And obviously if this is consistent and something else, it'll just send that, and it sends that string into the body text area. Right, now we'll also need to make sure that the lights on is toggling between 1 and 0, because otherwise it'll work once and then it won't work again. So let's do that. We go lights on equals 1 minus lights on, and what this does is it takes the current lights on and sets it to 1 minus lights on. So if it's 1, it'll set it to 0, and if it's 0, it'll set it to 1. Easy enough. And then we go return, and you need to put return at the end of every hotkey in AutoHotkey, otherwise it will keep reading down and down and down and down and down, and we don't want that. We just want it to end there. Alright, so now we've got our first hotkey. Let's test it out. We're going to save. We're going to click that, and we can just double click it. Oh, error line. Wow. So, oopsies, forgot to add a close out the quote there. Whoops-a-daisies. Alright, save. minimize that, run it. Okay, and we can see that it's running in the bottom here. Alright, now if I hold Control and press numpad 5, wow, look what happens. We got lights turning on and off. Very good. Okay, and that's the basics of sending a command to your Philips Hue.